Hi, welcome back to Tales Beyond the Grave, and this is another video of Chester. And what we're going to do today, we're going to take you round 3 of the most haunted pubs in Chester. So we're going to show you the outside, we'll tell you a bit about the pubs, and then we'll show you the insides. And we'll go and find them now, so let's go and have a look. So, the pub behind me, you'll see, I'll have to come back behind the camera to tell you a bit about it, because it is a bit noisy here, but this is the Bear and Billet behind us, and it dates back to 1664, this pub. So I'll just come back round the camera and tell you more about this haunted pub. So apologies for the wind and the traffic noise there. Now this is the Bear and Billet, and it dates from 1664, now that's 2 years before the Great Fire of London. And it was once a grain store. Now, the Earl of Shrewsbury owned the original townhouse and was renowned for treating his domestic staff badly, especially young female staff. He took a particular dislike to one young woman in his service and decided to punish her by locking her in an upstairs room overnight. His other staff were too scared to intervene. She cried and beat on the door and begged for his mercy and forgiveness. Now, the Earl was called away on urgent business, and he left the girl without food and water, but by the time he'd returned she had starved to death. Now locals in the pub often see the pale face of a young woman at the attic window, just this window up here at the top, and her cries and wails are often heard around the pub during the night. So that's a brief history of the Bear and Billet, one of the most haunted pubs in Chester. So what we're going to do is take you inside and show you inside. Apologies for the wind and the traffic, because we are in a busy area and it is quite windy today. So let's go and have a look inside. So this is the next pub we're going to tell you in Chester, and this is one of the most haunted buildings, and it dates back to 1208. So I'll come back round the camera and tell you a bit about this one. And this one is the Old King's Head, and it's constructed in 1208, the building, and it was originally the townhouse of Peter the Clerk, who was the administrator for the Chester Castle. Now, alterations were made in the 15th and 17th century, and the building was restored in 1935 and again in the 1960s. It's basically a timber frame building refaced with yellow sandstone. Now, a gateway to the past if you walk through this pub, and there's at least 13 ghosts are said to roam the pub. Sudden drops in temperature, shadowy figures. Around 1982, a guest was asleep in one of the rooms, suddenly woke at 2 a.m. to see a man in black with no visible features observing her from the corner before he disappeared. The ghost of a child appears in room number 4. In another room, a poltergeist trashes the room and shakily draws on the mirror, and cries of a young toddler can be heard, usually on a Sunday. Civil War soldiers have been seen in and around the pub, and the building was converted in 1662 to the Randall Home Manor. Lord Randall used to take in passing trade merchants along with other various waifs and strays of the city. Some of their spirits are said to have never have left. So that's a brief history of one of Chester's most haunted pubs, and the best thing to do now is to take you inside, and let's go and have a look inside the Old King's Head. So we've just been in the Old King's Head to our left there, but I can't not tell you about the shop opposite there. It's called Delectable. Now that is another haunted building. It's nothing to do with a pub, but it's a notorious brothel during the 1700s to the early 1900s, and it was a gentleman's gaming shop as well in the 1920s, and it's reputed to be haunted. Now it used to sell really spooky looking dolls over there, but that is an haunted building. Not connected to the pubs, but just thought I'd show you. So the next pub we're going to show you on the haunted trail is the Pied Bull, one of the most haunted pubs in Chester, and the building itself dates back to 1155. So I'm just going to come round the back of the camera and tell you a bit more about the Pied Bull. So this one is the Pied Bull Inn. The building dates back to 1155, and it was originally used as a coaching inn. It's the oldest licensed premises in Chester, and it was converted into an elegant mansion house named Bull Mansion. Now, many ghosts haunt the Pied Bull. Apparitions have been sighted throughout the entire pub. When it was a coaching inn, a stable hand dropped a lighted lantern onto a bale of hay, and he was burnt to death within the pub. His spirit haunts the corridors. The spirit of a chambermaid dressed in an apron and frilly hat has been sighted in rooms 7, 8 and 9. The ghost of a man named John Davis haunts the entire pub. John fell down the cellar stairs while holding a knife and accidentally stabbed himself and bled to death in the cellar. He's said to have haunted the pub since the 17th century. Staff and customers have been knocked off their feet by sudden cold blasts of air rushing by, and peculiar looking figures have been spotted in room 8 and 9 and have been photographed by residents. Now, Mr. Davis has also been spotted in the lounge room reading a book. So let's see a bit of history of the pie bull just told you, and what we're going to do now is take you inside. Now, we've been staying here tonight in room 8, so let's go and have a look inside. Right, so we've come to the end of the video. Thanks for watching Tales Beyond the Grave. This has been a trip round Chester to 3 of the most haunted pubs. Come and have a look for yourself. It's really interesting. And we've not even touched on the Roman side of Chester. Maybe that's for another video. So all that's left to say is, if you're a new subscriber, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up and a share if you would. And it just encourages us to go out and make videos like this. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to go on to the next one. I'm not too sure where we're going to go, but I'll see you when I get there.